The Emperor has been expecting you.
Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and you're very welcome to episode number 27 of The Hope Show, a weekly live stream dedicated to 1/6 scale collecting, movies, TV show, pop culture, all that type of stuff. So I really hope that you are sitting back, you're relaxing, you have your beer or beverage of choice, you have some chips or crisps as we call them in Ireland, and maybe you've got a festive jumper on. Can't do this on my own, so let's bring in some of the main Jose Plus. We got Jose Plus. We've got 1/6 Shooter. We've got Ian, aka H and Silver Fox. And we have Phil, the Empire Strikes. I feel like I'm leaving someone out. No, I got everyone there. Gentlemen, how are you doing? Are you drinking anything today? Do you have a beer, glass of wine? Or is it like 2 o'clock where you are?
Monday Club.
There you go.
That's a very healthy glass of wine there, Phil.
It is a healthy pour.
That is a healthy, so is that like a half a bottle of wine there on a Monday night?
I got small hands.
Oh.
I'm going to sidestep that one. Move straight. Yeah.
Shane,
Yeah.
do you recognise this?
Never saw it before in my life. Are you drinking Guinness?
God, the water's bad in Scotland.
What's from a bottle? What's it like?
No, this is Guinness Extra, foreign extra. So it's really big in Nigeria, and it's 7.5%.
I've had that, and it's absolutely rotten. If it's the stuff I'm thinking about, it's absolutely rotten. Honestly, like normal Guinness, I drink out of a dirty welly, but I mean that I'm not so sure. Yeah, it's really bitter. Yeah, it's extremely bitter, even for Guinness.
Yeah, it's really, Guinness is earthy. It's really, it feels like it's been brewed in Mordor.
You're not really selling it to the audience. We're also not sponsored by Guinness Extra.
I'm interested in it now.
Yeah, I remember drinking it before. I remember going, it doesn't taste like normal Guinness, But I'm just going to actually, Jose, I'm going to give you the privilege here. I've got some of the music I use here is kind of like this kind of cyberpunk Blade Runner copyright free kind of music, but I had to split it up into 3 parts. So I've got 1, 2, or 3. You pick.
2.
2, grand, and we got a bit of tunes there going in the background. All right, thank you so much, folks. There's something I was going to say to you, Trevor. I got my chair. I'll talk about it
very
later,
nice.
maybe.
Very nice.
Yeah, and while I was building the chair, I was listening to the replay of Wolfpack, and I heard your PS5 story, and I was getting so frustrated for you because I was like, how can you go buy a brand new product and then it becomes your problem? What's going on? What is going on?
I'm this is my first experience with the PS with any PlayStation. Short condensed version is I went through like 3 chats, got cut off the first one. By the 3rd one, I finally got to somebody who told me, "Oh, it looks like your PS5 was considered lost," and so they basically deactivated it, bricked it. I guess I don't know if it's bricked or if they can bring it back to life.
What does bricked mean?
And I'm like, "What's that?"
What does bricked mean?
Like you go on, it's cut off from the live. Like I can't integrate it.
Right.
It's as if I was banned. Like if you're
Right.
banned for doing something wrong, you're cut off from the PS5 network. I guess to get into the store, to get into do live play with people. So I can't do anything really.
Right.
There's no activities that I can really do except play like a free game that's already loaded on there. And the guy goes in the chat. He's like, we noticed you hadn't activated. You bought it back in September. Is there a reason you didn't activate it right away?
There is, but it's none of your business.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. It's none of your damn business, man. It's like, and I bought it. Like, what if it was a gift for Christmas? It would have been another month, and I would have given it to somebody, and they would have opened it up and had a brick. It's insane.
And were you at least talking to a human? Were you at least talking to a human during this?
Well, via chat, which was
Yeah, PlayStation are horrendous because I got hacked and I was getting little drip feeds on my PayPal account for Fortnite add-ons.
Wow.
And
You got robbed by some 14-year-old in Taiwan, man.
100%.
Some Fortnite champion of Asia. Like,
They
yeah.
did nothing. PlayStation would do nothing about it.
Yeah,
At
it was frustrating to find who, because at one point I said, they're like, oh well, you have to go over. I'm going to escalate this, and you'll have to go over and talk to these people. And I'm like, okay, so finally I'm getting someplace. And I click on the link that he gave me in the chat, and it's another chat. I'm like, you mean I got to start this all over again and explain this all again in chat? Like, you can't just.
That is the worst part.
Technology to transfer me over via chat to somebody else. Like, what the hell, man?
And by technology, I mean a 1980s Walkman with a cassette, so you could record what I just said for the last 45 minutes and listen to it. Like, come on, Chris. Like, were you born a moron, or was it something that developed, or are you actively trying to be annoying? I can't deal with that kind of.
It's insane. And then it's like, okay, well, somebody will get back to you within 3 to 5 business days, and I'm like, that's elevated. And so I finally get to hook this thing up, and now I got to wait 3 to 4 days for somebody to tell me that I got to send it back. And I haven't heard.
And by then, Spider-Man 3 will be out.
Yeah, exactly. I had the time to play it, which I don't usually have. So it was a bummer.
Yeah,
not a great customer experience. And I put something up on X, Twitter, whatever, to them. I'm like, hey, I had the worst customer experience. If you want to hear about it, and nobody got back to me, so probably don't.
You should have linked them Wolfpack, and just said, yeah, watch the first half an hour. Like, I actually found it
1 6-pack. Just yeah.
Sorry. 1 6-pack. I actually. Sorry, I got confused between the Wolfpack and 1 6-pack. Okay, I apologize. But like, I was listening to it, and I was like really, really into it, and I was getting like frustrated for you, and I was like, it's definitely worth a watch. But
that's good. I thought everybody was just annoyed with me for the first.
No. I was kind of going. I empathize with you. I definitely at some point would love to come back and chat to you and Tom. And
we got to get
the concept of the show is right up my street. You talk about figures and you drink cans. It sounds great to me.
And the talk gets looser and looser as we go along. Although it was pretty loose to begin with last week because I was on fire. So
yeah, you weren't pulling any punch, folks. So straight away, folks. Before we do any housekeeping, before we actually address any of the chat. So it's no longer called Would You Rather. It's called the Snap Game, where I show you 2 things, and you choose which one you have to snap into oblivion. Gone. You'll still have the memory of that thing, but it will be gone. So if it's a movie, it's gone. And I don't want to hear, but that movie influenced all the other movies and they'll be gone. No, they're still there. But the movie is gone. The collectibles are gone. The games are gone. Whatever it is. Okay, so I'm going to start off. I don't want to scare you off. Jose hates this already.
Okay.
One vehicle snapped forever into oblivion never existed. And I'm going last. Who's going to jump on that grenade, folks?
Batwing.
Batwing.
Yeah, I can do without the Batwing.
Batwing.
I'm going to go against the grain because I'm not the biggest Back to the Future fan, and I'm going to say the DeLorean.
Oh,
now,
no.
That is just the warm-up. Just giving you an idea of what happens, okay? So I'm going to get rid of that. Right, we're going to adjust the chat and do some basic housekeeping and stuff like that. So, folks, massive thank you. I do apologise for being late. I'll explain later on. I'll give you my excuse. Is my audio coming okay? I felt it was a little loud last week, so I dropped it down. So maybe people in the chat will let us know there. So, look, thank you to if you are one of the 2,686 subscribers. If you're watching now and you're enjoying the content and you're not subscribed, please consider liking and subscribing, of course, to everyone on this channel. So massive shout out to Ian, who's obviously on the panel now, who has very generously donated a brand new inbox. It's a Civil War, Captain America Civil War Winter Soldier, one of the better Winter Soldiers. This will be part of the 3K giveaway. I basically, when we hit 3K, it'll be given away on this show. You'll have to be subscribed. In the chat, I'm going to ask a very, very simple question that I've given the answer to multiple times over the last few weeks and probably will do tonight and for every other stream until we do that. And it'll be the quickest off the mark, and they'll get that. Ian has agreed to actually ship it to you as well, very generously, so thank you to you. So And that is for everyone, not just channel members. Speaking of channel members, there's a link if you want to consider joining the channel memberships for additional exclusive perks. They're all outlined in the video I have on the channel. But look, massive shout out to everyone who's engaged with this. But first of all, we'll take a look at the troopers. Thank you to Caffeinated Comic Fan, Jim the Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Neilerific, Mugwump, Mike L, who can't be with us today, but hopefully he will join us again next week. Chuli, Bendu Windu, Ryan Smith, and for the commanders we got Tragedy Tales, Alan the 6 Scale Gatherer. You can't join us today, made an appearance last week and hopefully will appear again not too soon, not too far away hopefully. X-Man Supreme, 12-inch Moose Dream, Philip the Fool, Dublin's Devil, Mark Mitchell, Brandon Solid, Phil, who's on the panel, the Underscore, Empire Strikes, Collecting Weekly, they're big deal, people know them, and Bubba Fettuccine, the tastiest username in 1/6 scale, collecting new videos in the channel. Thoughts on this, thoughts on that, and this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to discuss new in-out, we're going to briefly touch on that INART Bale Batman, we're going to talk about Cobb Vanth, Rex, Snake Show, what the fuck Vereen, and also Hot Toys famous fails. So we're going to go through some of the very obvious ones, and then I've asked the panel to come up with figures that they actually went and pulled the trigger on and that they purchased, but they just thought there was a few fails there. Maybe it's an accessory that should have been included and wasn't. Maybe it was poor ankles, or maybe it was just the head sculpt wasn't quite there. But look, we will get to that, and of course feel free to take part in the chat as well. All right, so I want to involve you straight away. So gentlemen, new in and out, anyone at all get anything new, sell anything?
Costco Reeves is on the way. I forgot all about it. I forgot I'd ordered it, but I had the invoice last week, so she
excellent stuff. So he's on. She's on the way then.
Hopefully.
Is that an Ozymandias?
It is.
Wow. And who is that a custom or?
Susu Toys, yeah, or so.
Ah, right. I see.
Yeah,
Hot Toys did
it
the
looks
comedian,
really...
I believe, did they?
What's that?
Did Hot Toys did the comedian and I think one other and never got back to them? Would that be right?
Yeah, they did Silk Spectre, right? Didn't they do Silk?
Did they?
Silk Spectre?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so.
We a strange choice, but I'd love to get that, but it's ridiculously expensive now.
Mm-hmm.
Just a weird outfit though, the body, you can't really see it, but you can see how much I'm pinching of that. The body is underneath kind of a rubbery suit, which is probably the way it was in the movie, but it seems odd. It just feels kind of odd. When you bend the leg, you get kind of a crease like that. It just looks kind of weird, but it looks good. I mean, he doesn't do much anyway, so he just kind of sits around and watches TV. So it's good enough.
I actually think I really liked that graphic novel, and I actually quite liked the movie. I thought some of the scenes that they really nailed, like the fight between Ozzy and comedian at the start, or any scene with Rorschach, or even the fights with Ozymandias, he was just completely wiping the floor at them. The hits felt real.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I think in hindsight, I think it was too soon for its time. I think, I didn't mind the ending change. It was fine. The other comic book ending would have been a little weird, but I think it stands up and it's.
What was the main difference? Because I remember the comic book ending. Rorschach, did he die? But he'd already posted all his journal to a newspaper, and in this one, he does get vaporized, but that message never gets delivered. Is that the difference?
No, the difference is the squid. The difference is the squid.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the squid might have been. That could have ended up something like the Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah, it could have been real weird.
It worked there because it was comical. Though. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and at the time, I'm not sure if they had the ability to pull that off very effectively. Maybe they could.
Yeah, gotcha. What about yourself, Ian?
These modular cases.
You know, yesterday
yesterday
you looked like you tapped out, and now you're tapped back in.
I've gradually started to fill it back up before Lucy divorces me. So,
good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm pleased with the change that I've done on the bottom rows. These ones, quite happy, and I am on beans and toast for the next few months.
2 years. 2 years, I'd say.
Christmas tree shopping in a convertible was punishment enough.
Yeah. that was a National Lampoon's Christmas Day Out. So,
Yeah.
sorry, that's a private. The chat won't know.
Sounds funny.
So,
I'm a little bit confused as well. I'm just smiling and nodding.
That's usually what I do, Shane.
Did you
Yeah,
take
yeah,
Did you take the green or the yellow today, Shane?
Pardon? Oh no, you got. What colours are these? No, these are different. These are Galway Bay breweries. They're hazy pale ales, so they're all the same colour, all that kind of purpley blue, like so. It's little small 4 cans of them. So yeah, it's quite nice actually. It's a 4.8, so they're small cans, but the percentage size, so it's nice and mellow.
Mixing it
So,
up.
perfect for a Monday. What about yourself, Jose?
So, like I told you, I got the Batman Begins in last week. So I already ordered. Well, Calvin's gonna get me the head sculpt as we talked about, and then I ordered the custom cape. But I have a story for you, but we're gonna share it in the fail section because I think that it's actually a fail of a fail because it failed. So it's
An inception
yeah.
of a fail.
Exactly.
gotcha.
It's something I had
Cool.
to do with the figure I received, and then it became even more of a fail. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah, stay
Oh,
tuned.
and-
I'm looking forward.
Yes, and then also obviously I was at LA Comic-Con with a lot of the guys. Calvin was out there, Eddie Money
Excellent.
Mendez, and all
Super.
them, and I got my Shin and Sabine photo over there.
Did you actually try and ask her out, or was that a joke?
No, it was a joke. But she
Oh.
actually liked my photos. I uploaded them on my stories, and she
I
liked
saw
them.
them. They look great. Ah, that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
Excellent. I was
and-
thinking, like, the guy, he shot a shot. He gave it a go. I was thinking, I respect that. I respect that. That's
No,
amazing. So
It was a funny joke. I got to talk to her when she signed my autograph slightly.
Mhm.
We talked a little bit
Mhm.
about a TV show she was on,
Mhm.
and she was just like, she was very this is the actress who plays Shin Hagi, and she was just very timid. I felt she was like very like humble. I felt
Mhm.
so that was really nice, and I got a few couple autographs from a few people there, a few from the boys. You saw this one too from Starlight.
cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I saw a
was
photo
really
of her today, and I think it was on her Instagram, and it was kind of provocative. But what I noticed was her arms are like very muscular in it, like as in she must be doing some serious training for maybe it's the next season of The Boys, which maybe her
Yeah.
character is getting a bit more like muscular looking or something like that. Kind of reminded me of, not on the same level, but did you ever see the intro to Peacemaker, James Gunn's wife?
oh yeah, Jennifer Holland.
She like
yeah.
she's absolutely gorgeous. But myself and Megan watched it, and like we always watch the intro because it's just hilarious. Like everyone knows it's just a great intro. And I was looking at this intro going, this girl, this woman is super hot, like in my head. And I was like, her arms are so defined. And Megan just went, her arms are amazing. And we just burst out laughing because it was like, I think I told a story before because like I was literally thinking the same thing. And now that you said it out loud, it's acceptable to acknowledge
It's
that.
okay now. Yeah.
Yeah, but she looks very, like her arms are looking very, very sculpted basically.
Yeah. We
So,
talked
you
briefly
picked- yeah.
too. We talked briefly too at the table. I was asking her
Yeah.
some screenwriting questions, and she was really nice. So very
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool when you meet people and they give you the time. Like, I mean, you've just stood in line, you paid a certain amount of money for a photograph or an autograph, but like, not
Yeah.
everyone is cool. They're just like, yeah, all right, yeah.
Very
Like,
true.
and it must be, I get it must be tough. They're humans. They might be there for 2-3 days, and you could be like the last person in an 8-hour signing shift. Like, they're only human, but yeah, it must be tough to keep that going. But it's great when they do make the effort, and just nice to be nice, I suppose. Right, so I'm gonna really quickly just. Oh yeah, sorry. What did I pick up before I addressed the chat? So okay, so I picked up both of these. They were figures. I was kind of like I wasn't rushing out to get them, but I do have an endgame display, and I'll tell you, the display, it's getting closer and closer to the line I could possibly potentially complete. Still won't complete it, more than likely not, because I'm not a completionist, but Endgame made me really, really appreciate Hawkeye, because at the end of the day, he's just a guy, really. Well, okay, I know he has extremely good eyesight, name and stuff like that, and I get that, but he always seems just like a guy with a bow and arrow. But when I went to see Endgame, and that song kicks in, well, first of all, the opening scene where he loses his entire family just like that, and his reaction, everything, I was just, it set the tone for the entire movie. And I just knew at that point going, they got this. This is amazing. And I really, really appreciate their dynamic between the two of them. And I don't have a Black Widow. So shout out to Alan, the 6 Scale Gallery. He was looking to offload them. I was looking to get them. They're going pretty cheap in the after sales, what's a secondhand market, whatever. So I made him an offer that he couldn't refuse. And so shout out to Alan if you're watching on the replay, if you're watching live. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to getting posed up on these floating shelves with the rest of the Endgame display. Massive shout out to anyone who's ever taken the time to watch any videos, like any videos, comment, subscribe, super chat, and the specifically, particularly the troopers and the commanders, the channel memberships. So they helped me eventually. I've gone on with this for ages. The last chair I was sitting on was absolutely killing my back, and I'd been saving up to get one of these, and it was subsidized by the channel revenue. So thank you very much. I'm sitting in this thing. It's just it's a game changer. I was sitting in it for 2 hours yesterday, and it was just really, really comfortable. So the Secret Labs Titan Evo, and thanks to Ian for answering all my stupid questions on it. So at that point, I think it's a perfect place to just put this up. So last year when I got monetized on the 1st of August, I decided that if I was lucky enough to get monetized and lucky enough to receive any revenue from the channel, I would take all the revenue and for the first few months and give it to donate it to the Temple Street Children's Hospital in Dublin. Now, I'm going to do the same thing again. So last year we raised as a community $1,202 for the Temple Street Children's Hospital in Dublin. Now we're going to do that for the month of December this month. So all the revenue from the channel, whether it's ad revenue, super stickers, super likes, super chats, thanks, channel memberships, all that stuff is going to be added up at the end of the month, and then in January donated to the Temple Street Children's Hospital in Dublin. So normally I'll be saying things like, I really, really appreciate you super chatting, but you don't have to do it. I really appreciate the support of the channel memberships, but you don't have to do it. But this month, because it's for children, I'm going to say, give me your fucking money, right? So I'm going to take it and I'm going to dedicate it to the Temple Street Children's Hospital. All jokes aside, no one has to super chat. I know it's a very, 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 very expensive time of year, but December's revenue is being given to, that's the cause, right? So thank you very much. And I'm not going to dwell on that too much. Sorry, very quickly, I know there's a lot to get through here. Really quickly going to shout out the people here. So we got 12-inch Moose Stream in the building. Channel member, thank you very much. Tragedy Tales, channel member, thank you very much. We got Phil on the panel, and in the chat we got the 12-inch Moose Stream that has a 1989 Batwing. I'm forever jealous. Who else we got? We got Ian, of course, warming up the chat as well. We have got X-Men Supreme channel member, thank you very much for being here. We have also got Collector Joey, the man himself, excellent, thank you for being here. Got Mike Fele as well. Did you watch the original trilogy yet, Mike? It's kind of a thing, come on, don't want to get it spoiled. Tragedy Tales channel member, thank you very much for being here. We got Striker 47, very strong supporter of the channel. We got Alan, channel member and usually panel member, and thank you very much for the amazing deal you gave me on the Endgame Hawkeye and Black Widow. We got Keith is here as well. Tarts Critics. Intro name, I believe, I always mean to post it in the chat or in the description, but I absolutely will. Who else do we got? We got Jose warming up the chat as well. We got Costa, Pop Culture Living Room. Thanks very much for the support. Thanks very much for being here. So we got this Devon PC. PS5 is mega cap or mega crap. I'm not sure. One or the other. Who else we got? We got Keith, channel member, Dublin's Devil. Thank you very much for being here. Costa saying the Batwing on that. Ryan Smith, channel member, thank you very much for being here. Audio good, thank you very much. Calvin is in the building, thank you very much for being here. I think we're kind of caught up and just scrolling down through here. We got Mike L as well, thank you very much for being here. The 1/6 Star Wars Pimpazoid is here as well. I think we're more or less up. We got Chudi in the building as well, another channel member. Excellent. I'm really far behind here, folks. Jesus Christ. Sorry. Alright, so we've got... We'll eventually talk about figures, folks. We will eventually talk about figures. Don't you worry. But we gotta just... Teeny! Who doesn't love the sound of a new teeny? Okay, so we have... Kicking it off. Everything's just disappearing on me now. Come on, this is not my first day, apparently. Alright, holy shit. Right, folks, again, you don't have to do this, but it will 100% be dedicated to charity, and I do appreciate this. Massive thank you to Phil. You got £2 super chat. Let's kick it off. I thank you very much. Just kick the ball rolling there. I really do appreciate that. There's always a Scotsman trying to one up absolutely everyone. Look at this fella making it rain. Ian, I really appreciate that. That is extremely generous. 49.99 super chat. I really appreciate that. You don't have to do that. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, Phil. Thank you very much, Ian. We got Boba Fettuccine, the man with the tastiest username and channel member. Nice thing, a great thing to do for the younglings, absolutely. And again, it's thank you very much for the support on that. We got the Empire Strikes again. Just try to see, the thing is, this is what the Scotsman did now. He's ruining everything. Sorry, he's just donated £50 to charity, and I'm making fun of him. All right, thanks very much, Ian. I do appreciate that. Phil, thanks very much for the top up. See, this is the thing. Ian's poking everyone now. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. The classic, let's go. You know I love when people say that. Trevor, thank you very much. Happy Christmas for the kids. Absolutely appreciate that. Thank you so much. We've got 12-inch. Just in case you've just tuned into the channel, these people don't like me this much. It's a charity thing for December. That's why they're donating. Right, so thank you very much, Michael, the 12-inch Moose Stream. Really do appreciate that. A surprising amount of nerds care about children. Shocking. Awesome. Shocking. Take my damn money. Folks, that was an absolute barrage. I really appreciate that. No one's in any other obligation or anything, but that will be... I'm interested to see at the end of the month, to see what we can do, folks. And it's nice it's an annual... Jeez. And Ryan, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And to everyone here. So I think I just got to drop a few... All right, we got to get a few sound effects in here before we actually talk about some figures. Massive. That's... Getting slightly overwhelmed. Right, where we go... Where's all my stuff, like? I'm getting flustered. I never get flustered. Right, okay, right. Come on, Shane. Get it together. Right, so thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Okay, may as well just click that like 15 times. All right, folks, again, thank you. So we'll get started, and what's the first thing we're going to talk about? I suppose we're going to take a look at this, folks. Anyone here chiming in on this? Don't all rush.
Nice. It looks nice like that.
Yeah.
Is that your way of saying, yeah, just get to the sculpture?
I heard a lot of people blaming the photographers. Now, I'm just saying, as photographers, not always the photographers. There's a lot of pictures here. This one doesn't look too bad, but there's a lot of them that look real soft on that sculpt. So I don't know. This may be one of those things where it's just, nothing really. That looks okay. I think
the cable head sculpt would look nice on it.
Yeah, it still doesn't look. It just doesn't look. Doesn't look like him. I don't think. It just doesn't look like him.
I don't think it looks like him either. But I was never going to get this. I knew nothing about the character, and I don't think I've ever seen the actor in anything, but just his story, the way it was portrayed, really won me over. Like the first time I saw him, like we obviously, after I think it was the first episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian, we saw Tamora Morrison in the robes, the Tusken robes in the desert. We're like, that's Boba Fett. That's Boba Fett. He's looking for his armor. And then we see this guy walk in. I think it was like episode 2. And we're like, that's not Boba Fett, because it just looked weird on him. Like he was too tall, too skinny. It just looked like a bad cosplay. And then when it went into the story about how he got the armor and how to use it to defend his town, I was thinking, this guy is a bit too cocky for my liking. But he ended up being like a decent guy who cared about, the village they were living in. And he really won me over. I really liked the character, and like especially I thought it was very clever though. At that episode of the Book of Boba Fett, when he eventually gets taken down in that kind of Western style space shootout with him and Cad Bane, which I absolutely loved. They were very clever. I think it was the start of that episode, or maybe the episode before, where I think it was started at that episode. I think it was Boba Fett season episode 6, where he takes out a bunch of these spice runners like as if it was nothing, just to show that this guy's an absolute gunslinger. Like he can shoot. But then Cad Bane just took him apart. But with all that said, I still wasn't going to get the figure. But I don't think there's a massive difference between the prototype and this. I didn't think the prototype looked like Timothy Oliphant, and I don't think the final product looks like him. I still think it looks cool in the armor though, but you know, all Mandalorians look cool in the armor, you know? They're my 2 cents. What do you think, Phil?
I think he looks better like that, without
Like
any
this?
of the armor on. Yeah. If I was going to get him, and don't get me wrong, if the price drops on it, 100%, I probably will invest. But for what they're asking currently, the head sculpt's not good enough for me to invest.
The comment by Tilly is like, with this head sculpt on a body, you put it on a Sanderson, you have a bad Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people are saying it looks like Billy Bob Thornton. Like I don't think it's an absolute. I don't think it's a travesty.
No, I think they've used the wrong expression on the face. Because I can't really remember Cobb Vanth looking angry, even when he was up against Cad Bane.
He was very cool for school, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like he was a confident. I liked this character really, really. At first, I was thinking this guy's so arrogant, but then I was like, no, this guy can back it up, and his heart seems in the right place, and I thought he was a cool character. Like,
yeah, and I think that cocky expression would look far better for this particular head sculpt than the one that they've given it. But...
Yeah, actually, going back and looking at the
proto
preview shots, yeah, it really hasn't changed much. I don't know if this was just like people were excited about it and the character was fresh and people were kind of excusing it. It still looks a little softer, but I mean that's usually the case to some degree.
I don't think we were expecting it, were we? Really?
No, when it came out.
So when it came out, when it came out, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
But...
Definitely.
If it drops in price, I'll probably get it.
That's another consideration because it's quite expensive for what you get, isn't it? Considering a lot of the parts are essentially reused.
And the neck scarf seems to have been toned down there. I mean, from the pictures I've seen, that looks a really vibrant red, which looks odd.
That could definitely be lighting. I mean, it looks like he's got a little bit of orange light on the side there. That could be affecting it.
Is anyone all in on this? As in pre-ordered, waiting for it to arrive?
No.
And like, was anyone keen for it? But then they're just like, ugh.
I think at the time, I was definitely keen for it.
And like, I'm not being smart, but like, what changed? Was it like the hype died down, or was it that you don't like how it turned out? Or
I think because I can't quite remember, but was it released while the show was still running? While Book of Boba Fett was running?
No, I think it was after.
Was it after?
It was right after.
I think it was after. Yeah.
So the hype probably was there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it died off slightly, and I kind of forgotten about it, really.
Yeah, and then the price as well, wasn't it listed at $300 US?
Yeah.
So it was pretty high for what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was our main talking point right there. Was the price of it was like.
Sorry to completely interrupt you there, but we have a very important announcement. Keith was saying it's really important that there's more tap dancing. I actually completely agree. I think that's what the world. I think that's what the community needs more, to bring us all together, like our love for tap dancing. So thanks very much. I really appreciate that, Keith. No, all jokes aside, thanks very much. I do appreciate that, fellow Irishman. Sorry I interrupted you. Sorry, continue on.
I think that was like one of our main talking points was the price, just being kind of like, why is this a $300 figure? You know, it's kind of like, you know, the Boba Fett tax, but that doesn't even really apply to most of the Boba Fett figures. So it was very strange.
Mm-hmm.
It's not shabby. I don't think it's shabby. It looks really good. It's just, I mean, the head sculpt is good, but it's not Cobb Vanth. That's the issue.
I think the body type looks good. It looks like his shape and everything, and but yeah, just the head sculpt isn't.
Do you think it's somewhere in the mouth area or the eyes, or is it just everything for you guys?
I have to look at a side by side. This is not one I was interested in, so I didn't do like that. I usually will go into Photoshop and do a side by side if there's something off about it. I just didn't even consider it, so I didn't.
I think it's
do
the
that.
forehead. The forehead.
Yeah, I think his eyes are a little too set, a little too deep, and the forehead might be a little too high.
he looks too aged, too weathered. He actually looks like he's lived through the spaghetti western.
Yeah.
So that's
Because
why
I've
I
heard
think-
like
Forehead is high.
multiple different streamers kind of saying that, like, you know, he's a particularly handsome man. Like, he's one of those lads, he'll probably always be handsome, like, but they haven't really captured that in this, and they made him maybe look a bit too old. Is it something to do with the beard as well? I think they struggle with beards. Like, they struggle with beards on Obi-Wan. I don't think they've ever quite got that beard correct. Like the
I'm looking
you know,
pictures of him. He's I think they got the age right. I think he's weathered for
Right.
sure. I think it's the style of the hair too, just the way it's styled. It was more swept back on the top. Yeah.
yeah, perhaps. Yeah, so no, I was never, even if this was an absolute banger, like I wouldn't have got it. I didn't have an interest in it. I didn't think the prototype looks particularly good, and I don't think this looks particularly good. But look, again, that's just my 2 cents. Like, but yeah, so it's you happy enough to move on, take a look at something else, or
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
cool. So look, we're not going to spend too much time talking about this. The phrase "I'll wait for INART" has been memeified, and rightly so. Waiting being the key word. But look, I am interested in this. I obviously have the Rooted 2-pack. Currently have a DX19 posed next to it with a beautiful Jackson shoe custom cape. Thank you to Alan 6K Gallery. I had another DX19. The plan was to pose one DX19 with the INART Rooted Joker and the other one to put on the Batpod. But then when I heard they were doing this, I sold one of the DX19s, and the plan now would be, when this arrives in 2028, to pose it next to the Rooted INART Joker, and then take the DX19 that's been kind of customized and pose it on the Batpod, which is still the plan. So I'm going to stay the course. If this is a 2-pack with a Bruce Wayne, this will be my first civilian / figure who looks like an accountant. But yeah, so I'm going to make the exception for Bale Batman. This looks good, but I can't really tell too much from just these molds. I can get the gist of it, but it doesn't give you enough information. I'll say this before I let Trevor go and everyone else. This isn't news. I know we're talking about it, but it's not necessarily news. They told us they were going to do this as a companion piece, or well, not companion piece, I suppose. That's insulting to call Batman a companion piece to Joker, but they told us they were going to do this. And now they've said, look, we've started, but we know how slow they are. So this could literally be, I reckon we'll get an announcement in this sometime in 2024.
Yeah.
I reckon just shy of a year. And then it mightn't come out for another 18 months. But yeah, I'm still interested. Patience is key. Trevor, sorry, you're going to say something.
I think they're going to learn a lot from the Batman figure, the Pattinson Batman, in terms of, you know, I mean, just 1/6. I think they've learned a lot from that. It's taken a while, so hopefully that'll apply to whatever they've learned to that, from that to this. I'm wondering, it is hard to tell without paint on a sculpt sometimes. I've kind of learned how to do it, but I'm still not great at it. I think this looks really good. I'm wondering if it's going to be rooted at all, though. That's a tricky hairstyle, but it could be done. I would love it.
I don't think you need it.
Great. You probably don't on a haircut like this. And if
I don't think you need it. In haircut this short, I think it could be an absolute more of a hindrance. In the same way that I don't think you necessarily need silicone in a 6-scale figure. Let's, you know, like I'll give you a would you rather. Would you rather talk about J&D Joker for the next year, or staple your eyelids to your ankles? For me, I'm going with option B on that. Like, as in, as much as I love the Dark Knight, I
can't believe that's going to be another Joker.
Do it again.
Man.
I can't do it again. I can't do it again. But yeah. So, are you keen on this, Trevor? You picked up I know you picked up the INART Gandalf, and you're happy with that, I think, overall. But there's some issues with transport and stuff. But did you get you got the Rooted 2-pack, didn't you?
I did. I got that. I got the Joker. I got the 2-pack Joker. I'm interested in it. I mean, it's gonna really have to blow away the Hot Toys DX19 for me to pick it up. And that, you know, for me, that's usually like things like rooted hair. But I mean, I'm not gonna really. I might be interested in a Bruce Wayne in a suit, maybe with rooted hair, but I'm not really gonna care about the Batman unless it's doing something really special, because I think the DX19 is very good. So
yeah, I can't say no to this. I just can't. Well, if it's crap, I will, like, you know, but I mean,
yeah,
this is, when it comes to Dark Knight, my default setting is I'll always take a look. But when it comes to like Clone Wars, I'm like, no, I don't collect Clone Wars. Just drawing that line, do you know? So, yeah. Is anyone okay? So, Trevor, you sound like you can be convinced. What about the other three boys?
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, yeah, I could be. Yeah, I'm actually interested in silicon sculpts, but we'll talk about that another time.
I'm glad you finished that sentence. That could have got really. So Jose, you're a Dark Knight man. Are you interested in this?
Not really. I mean, it would have to really blow me away. I have the DX19.
Wow.
I mean, no.
I feel like I really want that collecting weekly. Wow, yeah. Mad.
It would have to blow me away, but it's just like, why would I pay like $400 or $500, whatever this is going to cost, when I have the DX19 right there and it looks fine? So
no, this is going to be paywalled behind a 2-pack, and it's going to be a 3-day window.
Yeah. So
this is how this thing works, you know.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I could, you know, subject to change, but for now, I don't think so. And then I like that suit, but I've always been a fan of Begins more for whatever reason. So that's why we've had that conversation.
Yeah,
so
that's personal.
Yeah.
Personal preference. Like, the two suits are awesome. I'd be more of a DX19 style suit. Like, I know something about the armorized parts and the kind of real world feel to it I always liked. But I still love the Begin suit. Yeah, it's a coin toss.
Just the vibe, you know, and you think about like the aesthetic, and then when he's flying at the climax of the movie, and
he's more beastly, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
what do you think, Ian? I know, you're keen on this, aren't you? Ian's keen.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. I obviously need to see what they're going to do with this, because if I didn't, I got the tumbler for a really good price recently, and I'm going to create maybe a bat cave, and I love the Dark Knight as much as Shane, maybe even a little bit.
Oh, there's a question coming later on that's going to absolutely destroy people. But
so,
I'm so glad you said that.
But I'm not sure if I want Christian Bale in the Batman suit with his own head sculpt, but I could actually see it really working in a scene in this alcove that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
You know, in a Batcave, it could really work and feel something different. I want something really dark. So I'm interested. I'm very interested. The sculpt looks great, but as Trevor said, for me, it's all about the painting. It's the paint apps. That's where it's at for me. But I'm interested. I'll always be interested in the Dark Knight. But not another Joker.
Yeah, it's mad. There's some crazy. It's funny, like I'm just not mentally prepared to talk about J&D. Like, I think I'm gonna be priced out in it, and I just can't see myself going. Like, I'm just happy with what I have, like, you know. But so Trevor's kind of on the fence. Jose's saying no. Ian is keen, but not for the Bruce Wayne suit. And Phil, what about yourself? No, I think you're more of a Pattinson guy, are you?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm never going to turn on a head sculpt. So I like having the option of having the cowl version or helmeted version of anything. But I like to have the option of having a head sculpt. And that head sculpt, yes, depending on paint applications, it looks pretty good, to be fair. Yeah,
I can never really tell too much with this, but you could tell who it is anyway, and there's not even any paint on
definitely,
it. So, like, definitely. Yeah. That's cool. I just wanted to touch on that because it is something like, as much as it's a meme, I am waiting for INART on this one. So yeah.
I feel like I would have been more excited if it was like Ra's al Ghul or Cillian Murphy Scarecrow or something like that. You know what I mean? That we haven't seen or haven't seen in a while. I feel like I'd be more
Gordon,
excited.
I'd like a Gordon too. You can't. Really find
Like what about like an INART Gordon?
I think though if they do that, then they'd be like, wait a second. They gave us the Joker, but they didn't give us the Batman. You know what I mean? Like, as in, I can see what their logic is. It is a logical thing to do, seeing as they are doing. Yeah. They are going. Yeah, they've done a Joker, and as much as that's been done before, the DX11 was so old, and I could see why they chose that as their first figure. Like, and even like J&D, they are probably going. It's a bit of an arrogance thing as well. I think it's like, okay, they've just done this cutting edge one. Hot Toys have released their version. We're going to come in and we're going to blow them away. Or they, that's part of the game plan. Because you're going to hit like with like, and people go, wait a second, they're the better company, but probably cost you an arm and a leg. Or again, we don't know yet. But okay, I just want to move on. I don't want to go down the J&D rabbit hole. So thank you very much to X-Man Supreme channel member. Shout out to you. I was a children once. Brilliant. I like the comment. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that 9.99 super chat going to a good cause. Massively appreciated. So just addressing a few chats here. They're not rooting Superman, so I don't think they'd root. Yeah, I completely agree with you 100%. Ryan Jetta Patrol is saying, I'm creating a live organic skin to go with the 1/6 sculpt. Will require moisturizing. Does it come with a pulse though? Ryan, seriously, that's what I need to know. Does it come with a pulse? Yeah, thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. Somebody pointed out that J&D was using the Joker Joaquin Phoenix font on that little video they did, and they were showing imagery of their previous statues. I don't think they're doing a ledger. Who knows? They could just show something out of absolute left field now at this stage. You know what I mean? So
they have been doing a lot of Joaquin statues and stuff though. So I would have thought that's what they were going to do and try to beat INART punch. But God, I hope
they could do something completely different. Yeah. I can't tell what you're trying to do there, Jose. Are you stretching or putting up your hand? You don't have to raise
No, I was stretching.
Yeah.
Well, there's a good comment though right there from X-Men Supreme. He's like, the figure that we all been waiting for, Rachel.
Oh right, yeah. I didn't realize there was a hatred out there for Rachel. I thought like Katie Holmes and Maggie Gyllenhaal both did great jobs, like so much to the point that it's a different actress playing the same role, but it never really bothered me. And they don't look alike really. No. But yeah, it's funny. I know Marco 166 doesn't like Rachel, and I was like, I don't get the.
He doesn't like the Maggie Gyllenhaal version. He said he prefers Katie Holmes. What do you guys prefer? You guys have preference?
Katie Holmes.
I guess are you asking me which one is better looking or which one is like a better actress or whatever? Like,
which one did you like? Which Rachel did you like better?
I thought Maggie did a good job, but I think Katie Holmes is better looking, but that shouldn't really factor in, should it?
Well,
it should
always buy the fact that like two of the
every time.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I mean, he was obsessed with her, right? Yelling Rachel every 5 seconds. So
yeah, he was fond of her, right? Yeah. All right, folks, it's time for this week's or a more random movie recommendation. What do you think, folks? Anyone? I know I would pick on people. Phil, do you have one lined up?
The Power of One.
The Power of One. Tell us a bit about that.
So it's set in South Africa during World War II. Obviously, the Afrikaans are running the country, and it's about an orphan English kid who gets sent to an Afrikaans orphanage. He gets beaten the crap out of by, I think it was possibly Daniel Craig's first movie, because he's only in his late teens, early 20s. And Morgan Freeman trains him to be a boxer, and then he meets up with Daniel Craig so many years down the line and boxes against him. And I'd say I wouldn't tell you what happens, but it's probably obvious what happens. But
The Power of One.
The Power of One. It's quite old. I think it's from 92, 94. But
is it that old
stuff?
Oh wow.
I think it is. Yeah. You've seen it,
I've never
Trevor?
I've never even heard of it. But yeah,
Yeah, I've
it's
seen
a
part of it. I
powerful-
never finished it. It's a hard watch. Some of
It
it.
is quite hard. Yeah, it's quite hard.
But real.
Sounds intense. Some of the best movies. Some movies like, some movies I have watched and I recognize they're great movies and good pieces of art, but they're just so harrowing to watch that I can't bring myself. I hope I never watch them again. Like Requiem for a Dream. I never want to see that movie again. Like, it scared me. It made me feel uncomfortable right towards the end, but I recognize it was a well-made movie, you know?
It's like you say about the Joker. It's one of those. It's a great movie, but you can't call it your favorite movie.
Yeah,
Punch Drunk Love is
exactly.
like that too. If you haven't seen Punch Drunk Love, it's very uncomfortable, but it's good. It's very
And
good.
I think I might have seen that.
Stephen Dorff is the lead as well. I couldn't remember his name, but it's
Right.
Stephen Dorff.
Good stuff. What about yourself, Trevor? Do you have a random movie recommendation?
Well, being it's the season, I would say if you're a Christmas Carol fan, my favorite one, and I'm not a fan of musicals like at all, but this is 1971 Albert Finney musical called Scrooge. Great adaptation of A Christmas Carol. The music's not horrible Broadway crap, so like it's good, and it's kind of just innocuous, kind of comes and goes pretty quickly, but it's great. It's my favorite version. Scrooge, Albert
Yeah,
Finney.
so that not to be confused with Scrooged.
Not
with Bill Murray,
Scrooged,
yeah.
no.
Gotcha. Cool, good stuff. What about yourself, Jose?
All right. So in the spirit of the holiday season, I would recommend a Nicolas Cage movie called The Family Man. I'm not sure if you've ever heard it. It's a pretty good movie. Basically, it's kind of like It's a Wonderful Life. Have you ever heard or seen that
Yep.
movie? Kind of similar, like with a modern, different story, but kind of modernized. Of It's a Wonderful Life, and basically, it's a lavish, bachelor who likes living this, luxurious life, right? And he kind of gets into he gets a what if he had married his college sweetheart and the family he would have had. So he kind of gets a glimpse into that life. It's interesting.
Cool. So it's almost like the path he didn't take type of thing.
Exactly.
Good stuff. What about from the Scottish division?
Okay, let me shift it to Germany. 1927, Metropolis.
Oh wow.
Never seen that. Never seen that.
Great.
I need to start writing these down.
One of the best movies from the silent era, if you like. It's scientific, it's political, there's religious tones. I think it's genius. So, and it was the main basis for inspiration for C-3PO.
Wow, cool, good stuff. That sounds interesting.
So-
Yeah, I've seen it a lot on like kind of top like sci-fi lists and stuff like that. Metropolis.
It's not for.
Look at this.
Yeah,
Look
there
at
you
this. Hang on a second.
There you
Oh,
go.
wrong
Yeah,
person. Sorry. I see. So a carded Metropolis figure. Interesting. The coin as well. Nice touch.
The way it's done, it's like those that have and those that don't have. So there's an upper society and a lower society, and
It's a bit like being on here with you, Ian.
It's very advanced science fiction for its time.
That's classic. It's that's brilliant.
See, for 1927, it's like Wizard of Oz, right? It's way beyond its time. And I've got the DVD. So they pieced together this movie. They found bits of it in Chile, and then they pieced other bits together. So I've got the complete piece from it.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's a spectacle. You've got to really appreciate the real, for me, the real raw cinema on this. And if you like science, and the storytelling is phenomenal in this. I love it. So,
Yeah,
but it's not for everybody.
You reminded me actually. I think you said Wizard of Oz there. Has anyone done the thing where you set the dark side of the moon to play, and then like when the MGM lion roars for the third time on the dark side of the moon, you just mute it and you watch the Wizard of Oz.
It's actually
and you
on
listen to the Dark
YouTube.
Side of the Moon.
Like
That's
that,
already
and I
done?
tried to watch it, and it's like I don't know. I don't get it. It's not really. There's a couple little things that are like coincidental when things start and stop, but the rest of it is a little like.
Yeah, I think it's 100% the power of suggestion. They've kind of like basically denied it to the day. Like. Yeah.
I think if you're in the right, mental state, whatever that means for you, then maybe it worked out.
Yeah. They that's what they put it down to. They say, that's a bunch of college students with way too much free time.
Exactly.
But some of the music just does go very well with it. But I think maybe that could be just the power of suggestion, my recommendation is Platoon. Just Vietnam War film. Willem Dafoe's in it, and it's young Charlie Sheen. Would that be right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's definitely other actors. I'm forgetting.
Tom
Who's the guy
Berenger.
who plays Best Barnes, isn't it? Yeah.
Tom Berenger.
Yeah. Just fantastic. Yeah, Tom Berenger. Yeah. Fantastic. Just fantastic. Essentially a Vietnam War film. Tough to watch as well, but yeah. Pretty
Copious
damn good.
amounts of cigarettes smoked in that film.
Oh God, yeah, I'd say so. Absolutely, I'd say absolutely. So the next thing we're going to take a look at, so it's going to see our lineup here. So we discussed new In and Out, the Bale Batman, Cobb Van. We're going to take a look at Rex. So Rex was the next thing on the docket here. So I just want to share this with you. All right, this was, I suppose, a very easy thing for them to do. If you're into Troopers, you're probably delighted. If you're into Ahsoka, you're probably delighted. Or if you're just a Star Wars fan, was anyone chomping at the bit for this? Has anyone pre-ordered this?
No.
Nope.
No.
Anyone maybe going to get it if it drops down, or anyone any intention?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think
No
a
one
lot
seems
of Phase
too
1
excited.
Clone Trooper fans are probably excited by it.
Yeah, it's one for hardcore clone fans, maybe.
But I was excited when I purchased the original to go with Cody.
Yeah,
And I was just surprised that, I don't know, well, I know why they've done it, because it's a quick release, get it out before Christmas. It is a release, isn't it? It's not an announcement. Is it a release or an announcement?
no, this is an announcement. So you got TMS 018, so Television Masterpiece Series 018 on the left. So that's the Clone Wars Rex, which comes with a head sculpt.
Yeah.
And then on the right, you've got TMS. What's nearly exactly 100 after. It was 101 releases later. So that's it's pretty cool. But they've got, they're really tucking into those TMS lines.
He was in that show so briefly, and yet you haven't got. Is it Harang? I just don't get it.
Huyang.
Huyang.
But we all know, like, the reason for that is because it's a trooper, and it's just like easy to
the
do. It
sculpt.
doesn't have a head sculpt. Yeah. I mean, everyone wants Balin.
And it's got the Phase 1 helmet, so the people, people who are Trooper fans will grab that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Rex is still available, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not like a rare figure, so I don't. It's not like people are chomping at the bit because they can't get hold of a Rex and we'll re-release this. It's quick money. Rex is still available, so I don't know. And I love the character Rex. So
they have this, the swap out parts. Like I think it's the shin guards, right? And there's something else, either the forearm, to make the Phase 1 version, which I think is really what the selling point for this. Although I think they screwed up the elbow pads. Somebody said. So the elbow pads aren't correct.
Oh yeah, something was on back to front or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, it's a cash grab,
From my understanding, the first release has like a green tint to it.
It does, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, is that the original one on the left? Is the one with the green tint? Is that right?
Yeah, he looks quite clean there, but he has got sort of a greeny tint. Or mine has anyway.
Yeah, no, I've heard that as well. It has a kind of a greenish tint. Do you know what? This would be one angle for. Okay, look, if you're a diehard Star Wars fan, you're going to get it anyway. If you love the show, you're probably going to get it anywhere. If you're like a trooper collector, chances are you're interested in this. For me, I was like, I don't collect anything from the animated series Clone Wars. Just drawing the line in the sand. Just a basically funds and space management tactic. Like, and it's not as much. I just don't particularly like it as much as other things. But and some parts of the Clone Wars were amazing. But for this, it'd be like, okay, I do collect troopers, and you know, it's pretty damn cool. If I like the show, I think I'd be more inclined to pick it up. But I reckon I think it's essentially going to be a pass to me.
Because I used to collect Black Series, the Rex became a bit of a grail. So when I transitioned into Hot Toys and this Rex was available, I think that's probably why I was excited to get it, because it was so difficult or so expensive to get. The Black Series.
I think I lost you there. You broke up there for a second. I'm not sure if it was my internet or yours. So you said Rex was a grail.
Black Series. Black Series was, yeah. So when I swapped over to Hot Toys, and the fact that it was available, I jumped on it. But other than that,
yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Anyone else have anything to add there?
Not really. I mean,
no one wants to talk about this.
The phase one swatch out, the swap out parts is cool, but you know, yeah. Like I said, maybe I'll think about it. But like I said, I've never even bought a stormtrooper, so I don't have a stormtrooper, so I've always been hesitant about it. So that's why, you know, it wasn't something I immediately went for.
That's fair enough.
I think everybody's complaining that the first one. Oh no, that was not Rex. That didn't have the phase one.
That's fair enough. So we have a panel here who aren't particularly keen on this. It still looks cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? He might show up again. You just don't know with the live action, like what's going to happen. Yeah, cool. I could see this guy popping up in something else and then being in some amazing scene with some character that I really like. I know he faces off against, who knows, Cad Bane comes back, or I don't even know how the timelines work, but it's Star Wars. Yeah. So look, we're gonna move along now. So we're still playing the Snap game. This was the first one. So if you're just joining us, the Snap, you've got to choose which one you're going to snap into Oblivion Gone. Now, we're not talking about the characters here. We're specifically talking about this Hot Toys release. So on the left, you got the MMS 660, and on the right, can't remember the TMS number, but you got Peacemaker. So this just, whatever one you want to keep, you've got to snap the other one into Oblivion. So, yeah. What do you think, gents? Anyone want to jump in on this?
As great as Peacemaker is, it's not in my collection because it doesn't fit my collection, but Wolverine is on his way. So, I mean, just thought of, you know, I'd have to go with Peacemaker to snap.
Okay.
It's a great figure, though.
The chat can... The chat can...
Peacemaker.
Yeah, so you'd snap Peacemaker as well, yeah?
Absolutely. Without, like... I'd snap him yesterday. Yep.
Oh, God. That's quite funny. So we got two people who would snap Peacemaker into Oblivion and to keep Wolverine. And what about you, Jose?
Oh, this is tough because it feels like like if I snap Wolverine, it's personal. But it's like Wolverine. I love Wolverine, but if we're talking specifically the figures, I mean that Peacemaker is really good. Yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
come on, Jose, make a decision. Come on, just snap.
I'm snapping Wolverine.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. And Phil.
They're both triple threats.
Oh, like the use of the lingo. 10 points for this guy. 10 fake internet points for you.
But as Trevor said, the Peacemaker is great, but where does he fit in? Nah, Wolverine. I'd snap Peacemaker. Keep Wolverine.
Okay. So I have Peacemaker, and it was gifted to me by Joao. And I'm going to get the Wolverine. But I reckon in hand the Peacemaker will be a better figure. And even though I'm getting the second one, getting the Wolverine, come on! I'd be very, very surprised if Deadpool 3 doesn't come out and we don't get the Wolverine, the yellow suit. And yeah, so I think I'd snap, as much as I think this is a bloody unique and cool version of Wolverine, and I'm getting it. I think if I had to choose, I'd snap Wolverine. Joao would never speak to me again if he watched this in the replay.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
no,
the
I'm gonna snap the Peacemaker.
Like regifting it or something. It's
Yeah,
like
I think he'd
Send it
go
back.
straight to. He'd do like the Portuguese version of Liam Neeson. I have a particular set of skills. I'm a nightmare. I'm a
all
nightmare
of-
for people like you.
It's all about nostalgia.
Yeah.
And how can you be nostalgic about Peacemaker when, unless you're a comic book fan, I'd never
You know
heard
what?
of him until
But,
Suicide Squad.
but you're talking about specifically about.
It's
the
not all
character.
about nostalgia. New characters are good too.
He said
Oh,
the
yeah,
figure
yeah.
alone.
Yeah, the figure alone. You can still buy Wolverine figures if you snap Wolverine. You just can't buy this one. Bye. Do you know?
Yeah.
So anyone to reconsider? So Jose, you're snapping.
No.
Wolverine.
I'm going to snap Wolverine. Trevor, you're snapping.
if I can
Peacemaker.
snap my 300 and whatever it was dollars back along with it, maybe. But
Yeah.
It-
and yeah, you
imagine-
can. Yeah, we can. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Imagine an X-Men without Wolverine.
But we're not talking about the character, just the figure.
I don't think Ian gets the game.
No, I'm not,
No, we're specifically talking about this version of Wolverine. You can still get other Wolverines. The character still exists. But this particular
Right, okay, so,
figure never
so
existed.
Days of Future Past, if this figure wasn't in that movie, it would suck.
you're reading. This
No,
is
you're
the
going way
engineer.
deep
Yeah,
into
like,
it.
yeah.
The movie
No,
exists, just the
no.
figure doesn't exist.
Hot Toys never did it. We'll say it like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like Hot Toys never got around to this. We'll say.
Rubber tongue or
Peacemaker's
leather
getting
jacket.
snapped all day long.
Okay, we're not going to change his mind. But look, that's why we love him. Difference of opinion. That's what it's all
Leather
about.
jacket over rubber tongue.
Okay.
That's good.
That is quite funny. All right, lads. They were the two easy ones out of the way. Just saying, FYI. Oh, this is going to be controversial. Right. So look, do you want to? How do you want to do this? Do you want to? Will I give you the controversial one now, and then we'll talk about Wolverine, then move on to the main topic, or do you want to talk about Wolverine first? Get to the controversial snap.
Well, we're already in Wolverine. Why don't we talk Wolverine?
Okay, cool. All right. So,
Controversial. Right now, let's go.
first of all, look, the next thing we're going to talk about is what did I say? It was Snake Show. So what I mean about that is, you probably know anyway. Sideshow did their unsealed reveals type of thing, and they blatantly hid the base. Now, look,
Oh yeah.
Hot Toys make them. Sideshow don't make them. But Hot Toys are the official distributor. Fine. Hot Toys are a business. They're trying to make money. Fine. The prototype image had Wolverine written on it. No one copped it. I didn't cop it because you were looking at that amazing head sculpt in the prototype. You were looking at the leather jacket. You were looking at everything. The base is something like, even if it was wrong, it was like, yeah, fine, it's wrong. Surely they'll fix that. So like my thoughts on that is that's unforgivable. It's a very simple thing. I mispronounce words the whole time. I make typos the whole time. I make grammatical errors the whole time. But it's a company. You know, there
Somebody's
should have been quality control, and it's happened before with the Battle Alien or whatever it is. So that should have never got through QC. But as much as Sideshow are the official distributor and they're a business and they're trying to make money, I think that was a bit shady, like the way they blatantly hid the base, like, and it spun around very fast. You could probably pause it and catch it, but like they didn't kind of go, look, there is an error here, and say like this is the solution. Or
Hot Toys went
What
back
do you think?
and blacked out all the base.
Mhm.
That part of the
in
base too, and all their shots
in the
and put it back
photos.
up on Facebook. Yeah, replaced them all. Yeah.
So I wonder, are they? Is that a sign? Is that a good sign? Is that a sign that they're going, oh no, look, we're going to have to send out the new stickers? I think that's all it is, really.
From my
Probably,
understanding, they are going to, and then on that video that you're mentioning, Sideshow put like a pinned comment, and they said that they're in touch with Hot Toys about the
Good.
misspelling.
Okay.
And they're
Excellent.
Supposedly,
not
you can
know
go to Secret Base and pick one up if you happen to be there. A replacement, I guess. I don't know what they're going to do with everybody else who got them. Whether they're going to be mailed out to the distributors. So we'll see. But I think you're going to have your choice. I'm going to keep it misspelled. I kind of like it misspelled. I think it's funny.
I just imagine everyone walking around that factory saying Wolverine. What do you think of this Wolverine? Yeah, really good.
Like the Cajun pronunciation. Wolverine.
And like it's like I said, we all make mistakes, like, but when the team of them were working on it, it's like, oh, come on, lads. Like, it's a pretty famous character. It's not an obscure character.
Right.
He's just a Google away, really. Costa saying maybe they didn't show it because they knew it was going to be corrected.
Yeah,
Time
maybe
will tell.
will be.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Possibly. I hope so. I hope so. Possibly. But just wanted to touch on that before we take a look at Wolverine. So I've got some images from Instagram, which I think look phenomenal. So we're going to leave Denton after, and we're going to take a look at the blogger images first. All right. Right. So we should got this ready to go. All right. So this is the Hot Toys I was about to say Wolverine. Wolverine. There's two different versions. There's actually four different versions. There's the regular. There's a regular exclusive. It comes with another like Sentinel arm. There's a deluxe with a big, very, very diorama style base, and of course then there's the deluxe exclusive, which comes with the fancy base, diorama, and the Sentinel arm. It's kind of four different SKUs, but essentially the deluxe is $330, and then this I think is, I want to say $285 thereabouts. I think the error is only on the deluxe and the big base, from what I understand, because I got a decent quote. I want the big base, I want the diorama, I think it looks pretty damn cool, and I want the special part. And I got a good quote from Lion Rock, but then I kind of got onto them, kind of going, what about the regular version? Does that have the typo? Because I thought I might actually get that for cheaper, and then if they do fix it, get the other one and maybe sell the regular or do a channel giveaway or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? We'll see how I am financially at the time. But right, I'm gonna go last on this. But yeah, let's go last on this. Who wants to jump in? Who's got the passion, folks? Who is buzzing for this figure? I want to start off with someone who's like, I want this. It's not perfect though. It's coming home. Come on, anyone?
I'll go first because I'm probably the only one that's not getting it. I almost hit the button on it today, but the only thing, I love that black shirt. So get rid of it quick. It's just the adamantium blades. If they had those blades as a swap out, then I would definitely picked it up.
I think
even though that's,
you can get them. I've got some photos of them.
But how easy or how difficult will they be to swap out?
If they fit standard pins, they should be fine.
Oh, it's not the actual hands with the blades you got.
Oh, those are going to be, yeah, you're not going to be able to get those. I think you get both, right? I think you get the, I think you get a swappable forearm, right? Like
you do. You got the,
you're not
like,
gonna get
the
those.
fists with the bone claws, or you've got the seamless forearms with the bone claws in this release. But yeah, I'd imagine if you're getting custom adamantium, like I have a photo of one later on by an Instagrammer, and it looks, I'd imagine it's just the fist with the adamantium. So it looks so good.
Yeah. And I know, Shane, you say that 100% leather jacket, that's how he's going to be displayed, but that there, because the detail in the forearms is fantastic.
I like the way they haven't just like, you know, given us like straight plastic with a couple of lines. It looks like there's detail in his veins and musculature and tone. I like that. I think that's pretty damn cool.
That would probably be the pose for me right there. I mean, the black shirts, forearms showing. That's
I like that one too. I like this too, though, man.
I know.
Man, it looks so
definitely
good.
ain't getting two. Maybe one further down the line.
And I think that looks legit, like, as well, because I know, like, the head sculpt, right? I thought the head sculpt there was one photo in particular on the prototype images that was just head and shoulders above all the other photos of the head sculpt. And then there were some photos that actually quite looked like this. And I think we got the final product looks more like those photos. But this here,
because that little bit of hair will be rooted.
Yeah, but this I can definitely see Hugh Jackman here. Is it a step down from the prototype? I do think so, but I think this is going to be one of those figures that when people get it in hand, they absolutely love it.
Yeah. I'm starting to see, like you said, you're starting to see in-hand photos, and it looks better than this. I don't know what. I don't know what this was. I don't know if this was an early. I mean, these guys get this a little early. I don't know. I can't imagine it's that different, but I don't know. This is two in a row now, like with this and Cobb Vanth, that the pictures aren't doing, you know, the sculpt any justice. I don't know.
With Cobb Vanth, I just thought though, like, it kind of looks like the prototype, whereas this one, it looks like a step down from the prototype, but still,
it does.
I still think this looks more like Hugh Jackman the final product looks like Timothy Oliphant, the other one, you know.
Yes.
He actually
Yeah.
totally looks like he's giving us all the finger in this. I know there's 3 blades up, but just whatever he's holding it like. He's been known to do it. Yeah.
It just doesn't have quite the detail in the hair paint, and it seems like volume, and at least paint wise in the mutton chops. I don't know. It's
Great detail in the clavicle and the chest there, like the definition.
Yep.
I watched.
The body's great. It's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched. I was never the biggest fan of the Fox X-Men movies, but I was a massive fan of Hugh Jackman's performance of Wolverine. Albeit, yes, I know he's too tall to the actual comic book. That doesn't bother me at all. I just thought he nailed it, and he makes those original Fox trilogy very watchable. And there are some really strong scenes. X2, when he's babysitting and the SWAT team break in, man, that is awesome. That's hype. But then there's some really strong movies, and I think like Days of Future Past and Wolverine are like, sorry, Logan are genuinely good movies. But I started watching them all from the start again, so I'm through the Fox trilogy, and I'm on the Origins. I watched the Wolverine, I think it was like last night or the night before, and I had to look it up. The shape that man is in, he was 45 then. 45, and he was in that shape. Like, and people say like, I think like Days of Future Past, he's actually in better shape, but I know it's been a while since I watched Days of Future Past, but like, he's 55 now.
Yeah.
So like,
Have you heard what he was doing on set? Like, he would be like, so like between takes, he'd be like lifting weights, and then grilled chicken breast, and then he'd be eating, then lifting weights and push-ups, weights, and then back to the set, and then.
So he still has a pump. Yeah. So that makes sense. Like, because like he's going to be at like, you know, and like an unrealistic amount of like I suppose swole, rip, whatever, like, you know, and those scenes. Yeah, typically like those scenes where you have like kind of someone who's known for their physique, if they know they're having a shirtless scene, for example, Chris Hemsworth in that awful movie Thor 4, he's ripped to bits though. The man's an absolute juggernaut, but they dehydrate themselves as well, so that like it just shows more musculature, kind of like I suppose the bodybuilders do or whatever like that. But so Jose, are you in on this? You're on the fence, aren't you?
Yeah, I was on the fence. So you were trying to convince me last time we were talking about it.
Oh, I haven't even started talking about this, and there's photos I've got for it. I haven't even started. I'm gonna go.
Oh, look, I got this guy right here. You know what I mean? Like,
is that the Days of Future Past one?
Yeah, it's the Days of Future Past one. So I got this guy here with me. So,
and that's kind of like the one to get up to now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still pretty cool though. I was looking at that last night.
So I got this guy right now. So, you know, I was considering it, but I don't know. I'm still not convinced. And then with the photos, it's not. I feel like it's not doing it any favors. And I'm kind of, you know, I'm like thinking that I want to hold out for Deadpool 3. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, sounds like an awful tap out excuse to me, but you know.
It's almost as bad as waiting for INART, right?
yeah, exactly. But in fairness, I have a DX19. I had two, but but you'll be waiting, won't you? You'll be waiting. Yeah. So yeah, I reckon you're gonna get some Christmas money, and you'll be a bit like, oh, I don't know about this.
Well,
like,
maybe.
You know? Yeah. And Trevor, what gives your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I for some reason I jumped on this right away. I mean, I would hold out for like the first movie. I really liked the jacket that he had on in the opening scene, and that was what hooked me into it. And I thought that was great, being a lifelong X-Men fan. But this is also a great movie. Not exactly, you know, Days of Future Past, you know, right from the books, but good. But man, I mean, just everything with the leather jacket, the clothing options, and he looked great in this movie.
Am I frozen?
I think you are. You okay? You back? Can everybody hear me?
No,
I can hear you.
I think it's Shane.
Yeah, we hear you.
I think
Yeah,
it's
Shane is frozen.
Okay.
Back.
You
Sorry.
back?
I'm not sure. Did someone freeze out there? Was it me?
It was you.
It was you.
Sorry, my connection is dropping down there a second. Sorry, go on, continue.
Yeah, no, but I jumped on this right away, and when I saw it, I was a little disappointed, but I still think, seeing what I've seen for people within hand shots, I think it's going to be one of those things that's a little bit better in hand. And if I had to enhance the sculpt by getting somebody to do a little repaint or something on it, I would do that. It does look cool.
Fair enough. Have you ordered already, or you?
Oh, it's on its way. Yeah, it should be here. Very soon.
Cool. Who did you go with?
I got this one from Pop.
Gotcha.
And that's been up and down in terms of speed and stuff.
Draw the line 35. Is anyone hoping those claws aren't glued in so well to be swapped? Yeah, don't go doing that. Just you can just pop out the wrists. Well, if you're talking about the ones that they come with like normal, just a fist and the bone claws, or they come with the entire forearm and the bone claws. So if you want to pose it with the shirt with the sleeves down, or with the leather jacket, you can just pop off the hands. So put on the regular arms, pop off the hands, and then you can swap for custom adamantium, which is like a fist and the adamantium claws, which
I'm willing to bet
photos later on.
That if you wanted to, you could definitely heat those up and pop those off.
Yeah, probably
if you want to go that route.
X-Man Supreme is like one of the biggest Wolverine fans in the community. I like him without adamantium. It poisons him and weakens his healing factor. I want my boy to not have to worry about that stuff. I love the way he cares so much about this character. That's brilliant. Passing on this.
Claws.
Yeah, the thing is, the Deadpool 3. Yeah, if they do that yellow, if the movie's a banger, which I love the first two Deadpool movies. I actually need to prefer the second one. I love the character Cable, and Zazie Beetz is just awesome. And I loved how when he at the end goes and shoots the previous version of Deadpool, I was just like, Ryan Reynolds. That is just, I love that you don't take yourself that seriously. It's a cool quality in a person. But yeah. So if they look at if the film's fantastic, and I'm sure I've got a good feeling about it. And if they do the yellow suit and they give us the mask and the unhelmeted as well with just a superior head sculpt, they might Ahsoka to white this. They very much might do this, and you give us a superior head sculpt. But yeah, but a lot of people are going to hold out for 3. But I still really like this look. It's cool. Passing on this one. Sorry.
It's cool. It's like having a casual, Logan in your collection. With the 70s style, the jacket, and all that. Like I see, that's why I'm on the fence, because I could be convinced, but for me, I'm like, I'd rather maybe wait. But we can get impatient about things sometimes. So
yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. I think I just want to pick out a few of these comments here. X-Men 2 is my favorite Fox X-Men movie. I think myself and Caleb, was chatting to me on one of the videos I did about this. Pretty sure. Yomo. Wolverine is my favorite Marvel character, so this is a no-brainer for me to get. The sculpt is not great, but I think it's good. Yeah, that's a fair statement. I'll be getting this one, and the one from Deadpool 3 will be a Dopu. Hold out until 2026.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Marvels not getting a figure announcement? It's the first movie since terrible at the box office. Maybe that's a factor. I haven't seen it, can't comment, don't know anything about it. Saw the trailer, didn't have an interest in it, but did terrible at the box office.
I would also add that the previous 2 Captain Marvel figures did not sell well. Yeah,
they're literally giving them
for
away.
Sale. They can't give them away. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So maybe it could be something to do with that. And plus, there's one of those girls under 18, so therefore, I'm not sure. Is it Kamala Khan?
Kamala Khan, I believe.
She could be under 18, so therefore maybe she qualifies as a child, so they can't actually sell those figures for. Or again, I don't know. She could be like 25. I don't
understand. I mean, because they could do Hasbro can do those for Marvel Legends, but we can't get a 1/6 version of.
She's actually 21, born in 2002.
Yeah. Wow,
she's older
she looks
than
very young.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, they make Grogu, but then again, he's like 50, so I suppose
right.
That's good. Ian, you had this on order, didn't you? Did you?
I did have it in order, yeah, and I cancelled it because I bought a couple of grails and changed direction. And the reason behind that was I had to pick up those grails at the time, and this has 4 SKUs. 4 SKUs sit. We all know this. So I'll pick this up in time. I absolutely want it. I love it. When I pre-ordered this, I immediately bought the adamantium claws.
And did you go
Right.
with... All right, give us 1 second now. This is... So they are just fists and the adamantium claws. Ah, I see. And is there blood on them?
Like bloodied up.
Nice.
Yes.
And who did you go with to get them?
It was someday on eBay. I can't remember when this came out. It feels so long ago, and I'm pretty certain it was the same person as Calvin Low-Key Collector got his, and I bought them. And the more I think about it, because I want 2 Wolverines in a certain display, I'm not going to use these. So, because I like the bones, and then I'll have the adamantium claws on a different display. So we might do. I know they're not expensive, but we might do something that we could give it. Do a giveaway.
Yeah, you just give them to me.
So we can do that as well.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, they're really good though, for like $30 or whatever they were. They're really good. So I've
did you see? Are they sharp? Because MRC's collection adventures, he actually like stabbed himself by accident with the bone claws. They're really, and you actually it's only a little prick, but he starts bleeding like in the review and shows it like, and they're the bone claws like. So I'd imagine the adamantium ones are...
They're sharp. I'll tell you, the ones that I have on this one, I've poked myself a few times. They're pretty sharp.
So I'm going to clip that. Oh, that was really funny.
I was going to comment, but...
Please somebody clip that.
That's funny. That's funny. So...
that's one for LWO.
LWO, yeah. So, Jose, you're on the fence, but I think you're going to. Trevor, it's on the way. Ian, you're playing the bargain bin bros mentality here. Just 4 SKUs. One of them probably sit for a while, drop down maybe. And what yourself, Phil?
It's a maybe. I almost hit the button yesterday. I'll see what the Wolverine. Well, not that it really matters to me, but the base. And I may have to pick up some. Did you just say you were giving away those adamantium hands, Ian?
Not to you, but to somebody.
He's look. Yeah, Ian, you have had a bottle of Nigerian Guinness, so like, you know, come on, I'm steady on.
I was just about to order them when I heard him saying he was giving them away.
Yeah, but so look,
really
that's. I think. Look,
try those out.
Yeah, and I'm keen. Like, the way I see this is the head sculpt as good as a prototype? No. Does it still look like Hugh Jackman? I can still see Hugh Jackman here from every angle. No. Really happy with the proportions in general. The fact you get 2 different shirts. You got the undershirt white vest as well. I like the definition, the neck, the clavicle, the chest, all that. The real leather jacket, the style of the figure, the fact that it's 70s is a bit different. The bone claws, they're actually grown on me, but I suppose it's just, I will more than likely pick up the Deadpool 3 Yellow Wolverine if that's a thing. We're all kind of banking on it now. So look, when you think Hot Toys are going to zig, they zag, so we could end up disappointed with that, so you got to take that with a pinch of salt. I actually really like the diorama base. They dropped the ball on the city typo, but hopefully get that sorted, but still keen on this. I think I might go regular. and then if they fix the deluxe, source of deluxe, and maybe sell the regular or something like that. But I'm still keen on this. I'm really excited about it. I just think it's a unique figure. I think that's what, not only was a Wolverine, but it was a unique looking Wolverine. It's not your regular kind of thing. So yeah, pretty damn cool, I think. So I want to just show you, some of these images that I came across on Instagram from like Instagram bloggers, influencers, whatever you want to call them. So this particular image is from, I think it's I'm gonna butcher this, is it Yan Shui? So it's YANSHUAI 632. I gotta say, that looks pretty damn cool. Now he has actually got, if you look at, I know it's very, very small there, but he's got the some sort of like adamantium claws on it, probably like a custom similar to Ian or something like that. And because it's wearing the shirt all the way to the cuffs, I would imagine this is just a pair of fists with the adamantium claws. But if you follow him on Instagram and you take a good look at it, it looks way better, obviously, because you're just looking at this on the screen. Yeah, the base looks super as well. And let's face it, you're not going to be looking at Wolverine there, but go on.
It is spelled Wolverine still on there. So
it is 100% spelled Wolverine. But look at that pose. Pose pretty damn cool.
Yep.
You got the adamantium claws, proportions.
That's cool.
Really like that. And again, for this, in the same post, yeah, this, swap the shirt out. I'd say there's a lot of patience required swapping the shirt out, especially to have these kind of like foam parts to kind of buff up his biceps.
He's Photoshop the joints out there. No, say no, the forearm to ignore me.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, it does.
Like, I imagine just the Photoshop the stand out there or whatever, but that looks so good. Very cool. This is like something I'd imagine posing with Peter could do, just with like fishing line or something like that to make him look like he's there. Like, that's, yeah, I gotta say, I really like this. I think this is going to be these ones that people will get it, will start posing up. You'll see a lot more reviews and a lot more Instagram posts, and people will be very, very happy. There's a different Instagrammer that I think was shared in our group, so it's YU_NAI_TOU_ or no underscore. Yeah, just
that's some good lighting there.
Yeah. Like, this is a lot,
bringing out a lot more
appealing,
definition
I think,
on the face.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Lighting it
definitely.
properly.
So, yeah. So that's what I have so far. So look, we're going to go into our main topic now. But just before we go into the main topic, I want to cause some chaos. So we played the snap game. You have to choose one to be completely snapped out of existence, turned to dust, turned to ash. The first one, we put the 1989 Batwing up against the DeLorean. The second one, we put not the character, but the specific figure, the MMS 660 and whatever this Peacemaker is. The third one, you have to completely snap out of existence everything Star Wars or the entire Dark Knight trilogy. You still have the memory, but you'll never be able to watch the original trilogy, the prequels, the sequels, Book of Boba Fett, Mando, Clone Wars, read the books, everything. Star Wars gone, out of existence. Or completely remove the Dark Knight trilogy.
This is also going to determine if Shane invites you back on the show ever again.
Yeah.
I'm just watching the chat because I know everyone's going, Dark Knight's going, Dark's not going.
As much as the recent content has disappointed me, between the original trilogy and Rogue One, and even Solo, I would have to say I'd have to give the Dark Knight the snap. Sadly.
Okay. Can I just put one thing in? I heard on a stream recently, someone said something along the lines of the Dark Knight, the actual movie, the middle one, doesn't hold a candle to anything in the original trilogy. I think the Dark Knight is a better movie than anything in the original trilogy. Now, that might be a hot take, but I genuinely, a better made movie. Granted, they have I suppose the modern, the advantages of modern technology. However, like, acting's acting, script is script, story is story, and a lot of the stuff that they did do was actually shot with practical effects. I know not all, but I just put that. I think The Dark Knight is a better movie than anything in the original trilogy. But that's just me. So you would snap The Dark Knight trilogy out of existence.
Empire, because Empire is
the best.
arguably the best one in the both the middle movies.
Shane.
It's darker though. I mean, it's darker, which gives it a little bit of an edge. But like,
Shane, you're trying to get to 3,000 or 2,000 subscribers.
I don't think this is the way.
This is not the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put it this way then. As a collector, my collection would be pretty boring if I snap Star Wars out, because I'd probably have 3, maybe 4 characters based on The Dark Knight.
So Trevor's decision is he would snap the Dark Knight trilogy. What would you also snap the Dark Knight trilogy as well? Phil?
I'd have to, yeah, because I wasted so much time trying to build that case for 3 figures from the Dark Knight trilogy. And it's nothing movie-wise. The Dark Knight trilogy is awesome, but from a collector's perspective, and a movie, I mean, I grew up on Star Wars, and again, it's a nostalgia thing. So I was born in '76, so I'm getting on a bit, but Star Wars was my vibe. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to snap out that.
Ian.
Okay. So I agree with you, Shane. The Dark Knight trilogy are better made movies, probably because technology is newer, etc. But nostalgia, right? So Star Wars. So my ultimate vote would be I've pretty much got the figures I want from the Dark Knight trilogy, either now or on pre-order. There's so much more I want from the original Star Wars that I've not got. So it's not even a consideration. Immediate snap, Dark Knight trilogy. See ya.
Okay.
Yeah, nostalgia is a big factor here, right? Like, it's like you go back and you watch those movies and you can feel like you were. I mean, I was very young, so like, you know, Dark Knight, I was obviously much older, and it's nice to remember that. But like, I think it comes with a feeling of being, you know, a kid again too. So.
No, that's powerful. Like, that's, you know, if you could bottle that. And Jose.
Right.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to forget about me, but
no, because there's usually some sort of a hot take or a fact check. So,
oh no.
So you're the only one that's going to
I mean, I feel like we got to take your nerd card for picking the Dark Knight trilogy, man. Man,
I haven't made my decision yet. What I haven't just said it out loud, but I presume you know it's coming. Like, but like I would go on. You know, you go on.
No, it's just it's tough, man. It's just
I'm gonna get abused.
I think. I mean, I have a Star Wars corner over here. I got the Millennium Falcon cockpit right here. I got all these autographs right here. It's all Star Wars based here on to my left here. So I mean, I think I have to keep Star Wars. I'm sorry, but it's tough.
You don't have to apologize. You definitely don't have to apologize. It's an impossible question. I just want to tune in the chat. So we got Caleb saying bye Batman, X-Men Supreme, Dark Knight trilogy is gone. Costa, Batman is gone. Nolan trilogy is gone. Bye Dark Knight. I have bigger attachment to Star Wars. Nice knowing you, Shane. Sorry. I would snap Star Wars. Hard choice though. Oh, we got one. I've got an ally. Bye. Oh, bye Disney Star Wars. No, JB. No. It's all or nothing. There's no original trilogy. It's the entire IP. Like, this is evil. Dark Knight can kick rocks. Dark Knight. Yeah. So basically, a lot of people, most people, unsubscribed. Shane is crazy. Haven't even answered, but I think people know. I think people don't like.
I was thinking,
just unsubbed.
Can I put a little twist in this? If it wasn't for the OT, like everything else.
Yeah.
Then it'd be too
Everything
easy, I
else had to
think.
go. Is that too easy? A lot of people, I don't know. For me, it is. But I would, if the OT was out, and it was just the rest of Star Wars, I might pick the Dark Knight trilogy at that point.
Yeah.
Correct. Star
Yeah.
Wars.
No, I still I'm a little on the younger side, so I grew
Yeah.
up with the prequels.
And that's it.
So
I
I
think-
grew up with the prequels. So I mean, I wouldn't have
Yep.
Padme Amidala, I wouldn't have Anakin Skywalker, I wouldn't have all these. So
Yep.
oh, sorry.
I think if that was Star Wars the OT and the trilogy, Dark Knight trilogy, it'd be slightly different. Whereas if it's Star Wars and you just said Batman, I don't know, maybe people would look at it differently. And because the Dark Knight trilogy is quite niche, it's just 3. It's not the Star Wars trilogy, and Star Wars is huge. And as much as I prefer the original trilogy, 60%, maybe 70% of my figures are probably outside of the trilogy. But
Yeah, the way I see this is,
Blitz.
look, I would snap away. I would snap away the entire Star Wars IP, and it's not an easy decision. But the reasoning would be that, like, the 1989 Batman is the one that made me fall in love with movies in general, and definitely within the character of Batman. And obviously, there's a lot of nostalgia attached to that as well. And obviously, you're having, like, when you're a kid, you have like toys and stuff like that. You're not a collector, you just play with them because you're just a kid. But I don't think I'd be collecting if it wasn't for that. I don't think I'd love movies as much if it wasn't for that. However, I always knew as a kid going, I would love to see how it works in the real world, because the world Burton created, like, it's kind of hard to tell. Was it set in the 80s, or was it set in like the 1930s, or it's a real gothic, strange world he's set, like, and that's cool. Like, but I was like, I want to know how that would be in, like, you know, New York and Gotham. Essentially, this isn't anonymous, but like, how would that actually work in real life? How would he hide himself? How would he get his Batmobile? Like, how would he make his outfit, and rooted in somewhat reality? And it was like, these were the movies that I wanted to see my entire life, and then Nolan went and did them. And for me, like, I just think this is my favorite trilogy. And as in, like, you know, there's really not much between these amazing trilogies. So you have, like, the Dark Knight trilogy is fantastic, Back to the Future is fantastic, Lord of the Rings is fantastic, the original trilogy, Star Wars is fantastic. You know what I mean? But no, I would snap the Star Wars IP away. And not a popular opinion, but look, I told you this would break hearts.
so
Right.
is this
But,
is this based on Star Wars OT or Star
This is
Wars
based
in
on the
general?
entire Star Wars. It never
Okay.
existed. Goodbye.
Okay.
You know. Yeah, Jose's like, this is not good for your channel. But it's a hard choice. It's not an easy choice. It's not an easy
Well, you
choice,
can. I mean, we can thank Batman Begins and really this kind of whole trilory for everything we've got now with superhero movies. Quite frankly, because
it revolutionized the reboot.
Yeah, I mean, it was dark. Like, things just weren't. You know, like you said, there was a darkness to Burton's, but it was more of a quirky, whimsical type of thing. And this got, you know, gritty and real.
Yeah, and I think I trying to remember now. I think it was the director of Casino Royale. I think he watched Batman Begins and went, right, that's how you do a reboot, like, or maybe it was the other way around. I think it was the guy who directed Casino Royale, the first Daniel Craig Bond movie, saw Batman Begins, goes, this can be done. It's more rooted in reality. I think Casino Royale came out after, or it could have been the other way around, whereas Nolan was watching Casino Royale going, that's the reboot, but I actually think it was the other way around. But, yeah.
Directed by Martin Campbell.
Did
Casino Royale.
But in the
Casino-
same way, Star Wars gave us gritty sci-fi, even if it wasn't as gritty as like Blade Runner after it. It was the first thing that came out that wasn't like everything was clean and shiny and silver in the future. You know what I mean? It was dirty and used, and
Yeah.
they've all had their influence. So now,
Yeah.
if you want to see me break down, put Lord of the Rings up against Star Wars, and my head will explode.
Tune in next week. Yeah, so I lost like 10 viewers, just in case you're watching on the replay after that. We had about 55, actually, we're down to 40. They're dropping them like flies. But listen, I have an ally in the chat. I have an ally here. Calvin said, I'd take the Dark Knight. Yeah, I said, does that mean you'd snap Star Wars and take the Dark? Come on, Calvin.
Did you hear the whole? It's the whole Star Wars, not just one.
It's not just A
Did
New
you hear
Hope.
that, Calvin?
perhaps
Are
didn't
you
understand.
sure?
Yeah, have you seen his collection?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I knew what he would vote for.
If Star Wars never happened, would we still have the Mark Hamill Joker? Listen, Mark Hamill didn't play the Joker in The Dark Knight, so it's all good. Okay, so I was kind of, and Brick is coming in saying, "Bye, Star
There you
Wars."
go.
Thanks for
Oh,
being here, Brick.
no.
So I've got a next one. Okay, I was kind of look. This is the next one. I wanted to kind of completely flip this on its head then and go right. Instead of snapping something away, you're bringing something back. I'm not sure if this is in bad taste, but like I'm a big music fan, and unfortunately, we've lost some amazingly talented musicians over the years. So this one would, if you could bring someone back, right, even just for a day. So this is a tough choice there. I think this is a very, very difficult choice, but the snap back. If you could bring one of them back, even if just for a day to see them live, who would it be? So we got Kurt Cobain in the top, and then we've got Chris Cornell in the bottom there.
I gotta go with Cornell.
Would you want to see Soundgarden, not Audioslave, I presume, yeah?
Yeah, I've seen Soundgarden a couple times, but
Oh, so jealous.
Yeah, I saw them back in a club, man, when they just started out, and was the first one. God, Loud Love.
Good.
Yeah, I Nirvana. I mean, he's a genius, and the music is genius. But I was never as big a Nirvana fan as I was Soundgarden.
Yeah. What about yourself, Jose? You a big music fan?
Yeah, well, I mean, Kurt Cobain's right there.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
check him out.
I'd have to pick him. I do like Soundgarden, but yeah, I grew up with Nirvana, listening to Nirvana, so I have to. If I had the choice, yeah.
The image of the Mark 85 there on the left, that's not a stock image. That's a photo I took myself of my own Mark 85 battle damage lit up with fusion reactors. I think it actually looks really well. Ian?
Well, it's not David Bowie here, so what I would pick is... Kurt
I'm taking
Cobain.
notes. Kurt Cobain.
Hey.
And Phil?
Yeah, Kurt.
Yeah, I'd bring Kurt back as well because I'd like to see Nirvana live. I never saw Soundgarden, but I did see Audioslave twice. I know it's not the same, but he's pretty damn good, man. So I think I'd like to see Nirvana live, even just one. So, all right. So look, the main, kind of the main topic of tonight. This what better way to introduce it than with this boy? All right. So we're going to talk about some Hot Toys epic fails. We're going to flick through some of their epic fails, and then we're going to go to different people in the chat and just maybe outline figures that they've actually purchased, but there's just little things about them that they could definitely improve. All right, so look, obviously I got this idea from Wolverine. This is an epic fail. Let's be honest. This is a current epic fail, and not too long ago we had the Battalion, but it's supposed to be battalion, but Battalion clone trooper, which it is a fail. There's a team of people, not just one or two. This is so this is PJ Santiago. There's a that's not PJ the Paradox Nerd, is it? Or I don't know. But anyway, there's PJ there anyway. So you have this image of Paul Rudd with the teeth photoshopped in. Tony Stank is pretty much one that came with a lot of controversy. The DeLorean is beautiful, but the early batch there was problems with the mechanism to convert it from regular to flight mode. They were breaking. It was commonly reported there was issues with the glue, issues with the paint apps, and some lighting. Now, from what I understand, later batches have been perfect or significantly improved, but they're just a few examples. So I'm just going to remove this now, And if anyone wants to jump in, so are there figures in your collection which you have, but they've just kind of missed the mark on a few things that you would like them to improve? Anyone can just jump in on this.
Ahsoka elbows.
Ahsoka elbows. Yeah.
That's fair.
Most of mine are sideshow.
Could be a while.
floppy-
Serves you right, man.
Well, there was no other Jawas up until a couple years ago, so I got those
Yeah,
floppy Jawas, which would fall all over the place, and that IG-88, which I still wish. I don't know why Hot Toys hasn't come out with IG-88. They have most of the thing already built, but that was a floppy piece of crap. The only Hot Toys thing I can think of is, and it just bugs me because I bought the Hulk. I think I have the Avengers Hulk, and then I bought the Age of Ultron head, the more screaming head to go with it, and they're two different greens. Now that might have been the case in the movie. I haven't really compared the movie, but it's very annoying. I had to go and repaint one, so that annoyed me.
And
Okay, I'm going to pick a Grail. Right there, the Emperor.
1 second now. Yeah.
The
Okay.
Emperor. Hot Toys, the
Oh.
Emperor.
The face.
And the reason is, like many Hot Toys, if there's a throne, they never, ever make it to the 6 scale figure. His feet dangle.
Yes.
Even the proportion, because the seat laterally isn't right, so it dangles.
Yep.
So I'll fix it in time, but it bugs me so much
It is
because
annoying.
I love that look. It's awesome, but
Along
that's
with
a
that,
really-
though, they should have had a more of a straight expression with him, like a non-smiling expression. I think that should have had 2 sculpts. I think.
Yeah, I agree with that, but that bit doesn't bother me because you can cover with the cloak and all that, but it's the dangling feet.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Still doesn't really detract because I would always buy that, but I need to fix that for the display. It's really annoying. So, and every single goddamn Spider-Man, fix those fucking web shooters, please. Piece of shit.
Stop beating around the bush and tell us how you really feel, Ian.
And I've got lots of Spider-Man. They do my head in. So, and
X-Men Supreme.
it's-
Lack of Hawkeye from his show. That's
Yeah.
fair point.
I guess it'd be a good time to. So I would definitely say the Batman Begins is a recent fail of theirs. Just barely getting that in. I saw what everyone was talking about firsthand, and I was when I first got it the day of, I was fussing with it a little bit. I was gonna take off the pigeon-looking head sculpt and gonna put the Christian Bale head sculpt on, and I put that on. And I set it aside, and this is what I meant earlier about a fail within a fail. I was gonna switch out the hands, maybe put an accessory, a batarang, something to kind of give him something. And I set them aside, and when I set them aside, I noticed that the kneecap that he had on one of his knees just came off clean off. Like the glue must have been really weak that they put on that kneecap. And so I was like, oh no. And so I didn't know what to do. And I was like, and in hindsight, everything you think clearly, I should have just contacted Sideshow right away and told them, hey, here's some pictures. This happened. What can you do? But I was like, well, I always try to fix things right away on my own. So I said, well, I have some glue here. Let me try to fix it myself. And then I got a little bit of glue, and I put it in the little plastic kneecap thing, and I put it on there, and it didn't stick. And then what was worse, it's the glue residue kind of goes all over the knee area. And so I start frantically panicking about it because I don't know how to remove it. I don't want to do something worse. So I was like, how do I remove it? How do I remove it? And then I felt kind of embarrassed to reach out to anybody else. It's funny because then later I spoke to Marco, Mr. 166, And he was like, dude, you should have just told me right away, and I would have told you. He's like, I've had moments like that. And so I was like, well, I'll grab a towel and I'll try to wipe it off. But it just made it worse because it started peeling a little bit of the suit.
Do you know what this is like? Do you know that episode of Friends when Ross is wearing the leather pants?
Yes. Like that.
It's not coming off, man. Did it form a paste?
It just like rubbed off a little bit of the suit because it's such like a little, I don't know, the material that they used, the rubber, it just like rubbed off completely. Like it made like,
man.
And I was like, oh gosh, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And I started panicking, and I was like, Mark was like, just email Sideshow, send them the photos you first took when it came off, and see what they can do. And a day later, I got a response from Sideshow, and they're pretty quick about it. They told me, hey, we got your photos. We're going to send you a new body. But then the concern came, oh, but is it going to be a matte body? Because I don't want one of those returned shiny black bodies. And so I said, what do I do? And so I emailed her back, and I was like, hey, so it can be consistent with the current figure. Can you please send me the matte body, with the replacement? And she got back to me right away, and she said, absolutely. So it can be consistent with your figure. We'll send you a new one, and it arrived, and this is the new body.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good save. I wonder, like they watching now, going, damn it, you know.
Let's hope not. Well, but the figure was what Marco was, and it's a good point. Marco said he's like, the figure shouldn't like come apart like that so easily. You just set it down, and the thing came off. Like that's a defect that it came with, you know. And so, they should make it right. So, I shouldn't have to try to fix it. I made it worse, but but now I have two of them. The only thing is that they sent me the new body, but it doesn't come with the belt. So, but now I have two. Now I have two of them. So.
Yeah, you could nearly sell their body on eBay.
Yeah.
I still kick myself to this day because I have the Alien Warrior who I think I had about it might have been a month. And the first time I went to pose it, the arm snapped off. I mean, it must have been fused because the joint must have been fused. And the joints were real tight to begin with. And it just snapped. And I just thought, that's it, man. It's done. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I probably could have written them and said, hey, listen, this shouldn't happen. And it was fused.
Yeah.
And, I would have had it fixed, but too little too late. Still sitting on the shelf with one arm.
Yeah. I think I got the obviously look, the Batman Begins is an easy target, and I've ranted about that enough, but I don't want to go on about that
these
because
face plates, these are so bad.
yeah. There's a lot wrong with it, like, so whether it's the cowl or the cape or the kind of gloss finish of the first ones, or the clips not being in the right place, whatever, there's a lot up with it. Even the ankles aren't great in it, to be honest, or the fact that the balaclava mask thing, you can't actually put it on him. It looks ridiculous. Whereas the first release, it actually looked okay. The one that I actually pointed out, which is it is disappointing, it's actually the quarter scale. Now, the QS019, the DX19 style, basically quarter scale version of the DX19. It's a beautiful figure. The head sculpt, the body, the cape, the accessories, some amazing accessories that are just that bit bigger and they put more detail on it, base and everything. It's just two things which struck me as like, yeah, you took a shortcut there. The ankles are woeful. Like, this is a quarter scale figure. It's kind of like I wouldn't say the flagship of your company, because they specialize in 6 scale, but that's the kind of, I suppose, your maybe your branch that kind of competes with quarter scale statues, maybe. And ankles, the thing, like, I don't particularly use stands. I use stands for quarter scales, but this one I have to use the stand for it. Like, I can get it stand up in zone, but like, if a mouse farts down the road, it will fall over. Like, and for like a quarter scale, that's not good enough. They should be solid ratcheted joints, and they're not. They're very poor. And other than that, like, I still think the figures, I'm not trying to put anyone off the figure. it's still beautiful. Looking at it right here, it's like the centerpiece of my collection. Like, it's beautiful, but there's that, and also the strange thing, the shipper is the art box. There is no art box. It's the weirdest thing. It arrives in a big brown shipper with a with a plastic handle. Like, if you've got like one of the vehicles, sometimes they come with plastic handles. Like the Batpod comes with a plastic handle. Then there's usually a box inside the art box. There's no art box. It's like there's a shipper, and then there's like a cover which looks like an art box, but the shipper is the box. There's no art box. Yeah, and if you can check out, I haven't done a review, but Justin reviewed it on, yeah. But like, there's the pros outweigh the cons though. The head sculpt's amazing. The fact you come that little bust that you can display the unmasked Christian Bale head sculpt if you want. You've got the there's rolling eyes inside the cowl. There's the sonar eyes that light up. You've got the sticky bomb gun, the EMP rifle, the grappling gun, numerous different like grenades and stuff like that. The base has a few different ways you can display it. It's if you're into the Dark Knight and you like that suit, it's bloody cool. But those ankles, yeah, might actually eventually reinforce them. Any tips, Jose?
No.
Don't glue them.
No, don't use your own glue. Don't fuss with it. Leave it alone. That's what I learned.
Yeah. Anyone else have any other ones that were like
the chrome Death Trooper? It was meant to be black chrome. It was chocolate chrome.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Figure looked great. Looked like it. Well, I say looked like it should have. The design looked like it should have, but the color was horrendous.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair point.
Because I went back and bought the Mandalorian Death Trooper, which is a fantastic figure, but the black chrome. Don't bother, guys.
Yeah. What about Sophie and sorry, Phil. Sorry.
I was going to say, if I get 10 subscriptions on my channel, I might give it away.
There you go. Right.
There we go.
Did you start a channel?
I think I started one a while ago, but I've noticed for some random reason today, people have started subscribing to my channel. That's been there.
Right. Okay.
There's not really anything on it.
Mm-hmm. What's the actual address on it?
I can't even remember. I'll have to go back and have a look. I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know, and then I can put it into the descriptions of future videos and stuff.
Maybe I'll
Anyone
do
else
some...
have any other? Go on.
Wonder Woman 84. It's a fantastic figure, but when I first got it, I changed one of the hands, and because it was cold, the metal skeleton had clamped onto the plastic peg.
All right.
And listen, I'm a veteran collector. I know how to take off hands. So just took it out and it just snapped, disintegrated. And that was the first metal skeleton figure I had. So my tip to anybody, if you're doing that with that type of figure, get a heat gun or something. Just loosen it up. I was so disappointed, but that's a great figure. But
yeah, good stuff. Anything else?
I love all the Scout Troopers, but I wish their feet would touch the pedals on the when you put them on the Scout Trooper. That's
yeah.
Annoying.
It's kind of like that with the DX-19, the Batpod. Like it's
same
you're
thing.
Probably better off having it. Well, it can be done, but it's not easy. Like you're probably better off having it standing next to the Batpod or even straddling the Batpod. But if you're trying to get the pose, it's kind of hard to get it to look right without messing up that suit. But
Infinity War 4 as well is horrendous for the
ankles. Right, why is that?
The ankles, it just doesn't stand at all.
Really?
No matter what pose I put it in, it will not stand. I don't like using stands. So I've got him sort of leaning on his axe. Because I can't do anything else with him, but terrible. Worst ankles out of 40 plus figures. They're just... You can sort of shake the body and the feet shake because the ankles.
Oh right, yeah. So very loose.
They're terrible.
Yeah, and are the heels of the boots on that particular piece?
They're split cut. Yeah, they're split cut boots. Head sculpt, everything about the figure is fantastic, but the ankles horrendous.
Gotcha. Cool.
Here's the thing though, Hot Toys do learn from their mistakes, right? And I'm going to show you right there. Ghost Rider in the Hell Cycle. Hot Toys used to ship the button cell batteries inside the figure. When I got that, it completely disintegrated. I had to clean it out, scrape it away, put in new button cell batteries. So they learn from mistakes. We're very privileged, right? So still a great figure. Love that. Didn't affect anything that I feel from that figure, but I believe that they do learn from their mistakes. So,
good stuff. Yeah, definitely. They're involved. We're actually gonna wrap up. If anyone has any closing thoughts, I know Trevor, you've got to go, but we're more or less ready to wrap up. If anyone else has other
good news
thoughts or any other figure. What's this? Comic Centaurum?
Console suspension lifted.
Oh, right. I thought it said Comic Centaurum, and I was like, I'm not bring this evil on you. Oh, brilliant. So you can play Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Excellent. Folks, thanks very much to people in the panel for joining. Really, really do appreciate, obviously, giving up your time every single week. You like to come on here and chat pop culture and collecting and stuff like that. Massively appreciated. I want to just acknowledge as well and give a huge shout out to, again, the generosity is overwhelming. I just have to kind of just acknowledge this before we finish up. So if you are joining us or watching on the replay, all the funds from the channel that for December is going to be given to the Temple Street Children's Hospital. Going to be added up at the end of the year and then dedicated to that. So massive shout out to Phil Empire Strikes, to Ian H and Silver Fox, Boba Fettuccini, Phil again, Trevor, the 12-inch Moose Stream, Collector Joey, Ryan Smith, Keith Dublin's Devil, X-Man Supreme. So thank you very much. Just massively appreciated to everyone. Let's get stuff there. Thank you very much to everyone. It's generosity. Be nice to see how we get on towards the end of the month and just dedicate that money to that children's hospital. So anyone have anything they want to plug before we call it a night?
Nope, all good.
No? Cool. All right. Folks, we'll see you and chat to you next week. Good luck.